Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is Monday, July 21st, 2025, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:33 p.m. Can we call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell.
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy.
Here.
Trustee Peretta.
Here.
Trustee Cahill. Here. Trustee Love.
Here.
Mayor Ryan.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we've got quite a bit on our agenda this evening, and we'll start with our reports, starting with mine. Well, all the board and everyone know I had a good meeting this morning I gave everybody a copy of a overview of a professional services. This was a CPA firm that was referred to us, or referred to my office, by a reliable source, reliable legal source that I met with today at HR, and at least one member of the finance department that sat in with the meeting yet too. And John Kaspark Company, I apologize, John Kaspark Certified Public Accountants has made themselves available to help the Village of Alsip through some trying times that we're having right now. We're experiencing two issues. One, unfortunately, our finance director passed away, and we do need to fill that position. And two, we've got some audits that are way behind schedule. We had a separation agreement a couple months ago with our auditing firm, and we have contacted and contracted, and we're working with another auditor who's coming in right around the second week of August to start their testing, is what they call it. And I apologize, I don't have the name in front of me right now, but they're in a firm out of Kankakee, Illinois. And they're going to start doing the work. The former auditor did release the previous work that was ours and returned it back to us and so forth, all the materials that our finance director had shared with them. The opportunity I'd like to discuss with the board this evening is what I feel could be I hate the phrase win-win, but can actually a firm as John Kaspark CPA can help us oversee not only the audits on our behalf, because we need somebody doing that in place of a finance director, and serve as a consultant to the finance department and the Village of Alsip. This is a firm that's been in existence for over 40 years, and I was just asking our village attorney, Mike Hankard. Mike's worked with them a little bit. They have done work with the city of Cal City, the Cal City Firefighters Pension Fund, Calumet Memorial Park District, and numerous others, Calumet Township, Blue Island Park District, City of Braidwood, City of Harvey, City of Hometown, Chicago Ridge, Dalton, Phoenix, Posen, Riverdale, and Village of University Park, not to mention numerous school districts, including one here that borders Alsip is District 130 schools, Prairie State College, South Suburban College, Thornton Township, South Suburban Association of Police Chiefs, South Suburban Major Crime Task Force, Calumet Township School Treasurers, Thornton Fractional School Treasurer, and Thornton Township School Treasurer as well, too. So, I mean, obviously they've done plenty of government municipal work. I did get, everyone's got a copy of their engagement letter that came with this. His associate, Chris, who we met with today, too, said that at the start of things, to get things moving, because there's a lot of data and information that they need to collect to ready for the auditor. And They're going to be here on, should the village decide to engage with this firm, they're going to be primarily working here. Like, they're, one of their lead people, Chris is his name, Chris Marabelli, would work here 4 out of 5 days a week, here upstairs in the finance office. And he's going to bring in a team of 4 other people to help gather all the data that they need to provide to the auditors. I will share with you an email I got just like an hour ago. As we discussed today, we can insist the village, we can assist, I'm sorry, let me get my glasses on. We can assist the village with getting caught up with the audits that are behind schedule, do the expedient timeline to complete multiple years of audits. We anticipate the upfront costs can range anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 per month, depending on what audit work papers we already have from our previous audit and how much work they need to do then too at the same time. I asked Chris this morning, I says, how soon, if the board were to agree with hiring your professional services, how soon could you get in here? He says, I can get in here by the end of the week, if you like. The other side of it is, and that's the reason I'm bringing this up this evening, is that we've been advertising to hire a new finance director. We've gotten 3 applications, and they didn't really have the municipal governmental experience that we were kind of looking for. So I felt this might be an opportunity to obviously resolve the need for a finance director as I started this conversation, as well as certainly the need we have to get this audit done. We don't meet again as a board for a couple of weeks. We don't meet again until like August 4th. So this would certainly be the purview of the board, whether or not you want to engage sooner than later. Otherwise, this is going to get put, otherwise we're not going to have this discussion again for a couple of weeks. So we do have funding that's been, I'll have to do an amendment to the budget at the end of the year, but we do have funding that we have in tonight's appropriation budget for both a finance director and for a consultant that should carry and cover us on all this yet too. So we're okay with what we budgeted, but it's just a matter of whether or not the board wants to engage now, and we can do it through consensus, and we could do a formal approval in a couple of weeks, or does the board wish to think about it? And they'll certainly come in and meet with the board. I can set that up in a couple of weeks. But I tell you, right now, time is everything. I mean, it's just, I don't want to act like my hair is on fire, but time's everything, so. Open for comments or questions?
They have an idea of how long of a process this is going to be to facilitate acting as finance director and then assisting with those audits? Is this
I asked that question earlier too, and they weren't sure because they're walking in blind.
I mean, it's you're talking $240,000 to $360,000 a year.
Right.
We need an end game because we can't sustain that.
No, I asked that exact question. Even here, when you see in the engagement letter, that said, obviously typical hourly fees, so forth. That's what we were paying when we were working with the auditor. And I agree with you. I hate to look at a blank checkbook, to see where we're at the end of the day.
Right.
But that's, like I said, they're walking into something blind. And it's not just one audit. They're going to end up engaging in at least 3. And at the same time, again, serve as our consultant to our daily needs, our monthly needs, even to reconcile payrolls and so forth yet too. They had a whole schedule of services at the back of the engagement letter that they would be doing for us as well here too.
So this is just an open term, and to cancel it?
Yes, we can cancel with a 30-day notice anytime we want. And again, just so we understand for the record, They'll assist in training staff on the use of accounting software, and that's ongoing. That's something they do all the time. Assisting with preparing and uploading journal entries for bank statement activity. That's a weekly task. Assisting with reviewing payroll as biweekly. Assisting with cash management. That's always ongoing. Record month-end journal entries. That's a monthly task. Complete cost allocations. Reconcile bank and credit card statements. Prepare management reports. Update audit schedules. Assist management in preparing grants and budget reports. Assist management with annual budget development. Maintain accurate chart of accounts. Timely delivery of IRS filings. Prepare the village for external financial audits. Obviously, that's the focus here. Making adjusting entries as requested by the auditor. Having a representative on site during the audit. Assist in preparation of the annual tax levy. Assist in the annual treasurer's report. Assist with TIF reports. Assist with retroactive pay for new contracts. Assist with the LMO 2 water reports, assisting with the OPEB valuation for gas fee reports, and then assist with special projects as requested, obviously. We had a great meeting on this, and I agree with you. This is a tough one, but I see it as, in this particular instance, I see this as certainly a benefit to our village. I mean, after everything we've gone through, with an auditing firm that struggled with our audit for over 3 years, unfortunately losing our finance director, and the previous finance director who, before got this task done, resigned and left the former finance director holding the bag. So, again, I see this as, I don't want to use the word temporary, because you never know, maybe this does work out. But at the front end, yes, there's a lot of expense, and I agree with you, there's a lot of expense on the front end. But on the back end, once all this gets straightened out, I think things will run a lot smoother at the same time. And should we decide to go back to the practice we had of having a finance director here, that's a simple, termination letter to them saying we're going to go back to what we had before.
It's just difficult when they give this engagement letter and the fees, there's not a single fee outlined
I know.
in this.
I know.
I mean, this is very ambiguous.
I think we need to get some concrete numbers here before we agree to anything. I mean, I hate to have an open checkbook to anybody.
What I can do is, and again, I gave everyone this evening a packet with all of their information, and I guess the best I can do at this point is, if we want to do anything sooner than later, because I would need a consensus to move on this sooner than later, is at least ask them, and I already did tonight on something else, I didn't get a response yet, but let me find out if they can give us a hard number or a stronger hourly figure, if they can do that, and in a timeline, if that's even possible.
The difficulty is that, when you had said that they're ready to roll within a week's time and bring on a person to manage it and 4 other people right behind them. And, okay, based on this, it's based on whatever their skill levels are for their billing rates.
Right.
Which, I understand. But that number would seem to me to be pretty huge in the beginning, and certainly we've got a backlog of things that have to work, and we're going to have to pay the piper on that. I'll abide by it. It's certainly comes with a good recommendation, as long as the attorney says that this engagement letter is good.
I just saw it.
I just
Well,
wanted
Well,
to,
no,
I mean,
I-
you're asking for a consensus, so,
Oh, yeah.
we could either give tonight or, email it to you, let you know after we've had a chance to digest and the attorney's had an opportunity to review. But I still think I appreciate it, but I still think there's a few I's that need to be dotted and T's crossed.
I'll reach out to everybody electronically after I'll see what I can do about trying to get some more information, And again, I can have a rep here at our next meeting, but that's not going to be for a couple of weeks yet and stuff yet, too. But anyway, just so everybody knows, we did find a source, and this could be a solution to what we're looking at and stuff yet, too. So I'll get everybody back, I'll get everyone a copy of what I can get, and we'll talk more then, okay? Unless somebody wants to move on this tonight. Anybody want to go with this tonight?
No, I agree. It's a little too open for,
Right.
but the last time that we hired a finance director, how long did that search go?
How long, what?
How long did the search take for the previous finance director?
About 6 months.
About 6 months?
Yeah.
So we're probably looking at another 6 months of this, and that's
Oh,
it.
I mean, well, this is obviously different. This is hiring a finance director now. But,
Understood,
Yeah.
but if they're taking the place of the finance director temporarily, so to speak, and we're taking that, so we're looking at possibly a 6-month engagement here.
oh no, this is going to be years, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Well, and just on the finance director part, sorry, not
Oh,
on the
maybe,
audit.
but-
I understand the audit
But I even
portion
said the
longer.
same thing to him. I says, you don't think I'm going to need like a deputy finance director or somebody on this side? He goes, no. And that was the list I just read to you, was they can handle all that, same thing a finance director would do. And for what it's worth, I know you're paying, you might be paying a strong hourly fee, but at the same time, you can appreciate no claims against your insurance and all that kind of
Sure.
thing too, so.
Yeah.
So no benefits. Next, first, I should say on your agenda was, oh, you didn't have this on, I handed this out to everybody, was, I'm going to ask for a consensus on, let me get this up here. There we go. I'm going to ask for, what I handed out to everybody was under your desk this evening, was a final notice settlement with, it has a different corporate name on here, but basically this is for the services that were provided to us by Gov Temps, and we had a balance due of $22,000, and that hasn't been paid. It was being disputed by our former finance director, and she's no longer with us, obviously, and so forth, but the argument we had, we tried to negotiate a lower number, we couldn't do that. She was disputing effort and time worked by the team that we had hired to come in, and it really wasn't going anywhere. And I'd like to ask, this has been a process that our attorney, Beth Blood, has been working on for some time, and we haven't gotten any traction on this at all. So I'm going to ask the board to, for a consensus, to approve the settlement agreement of $22,428 for services that were made to the Village of Alsip.
Mayor, this is, so we're clear, this was for the audits that never got done.
No, this is for the contractor that we brought in
Okay.
like a year or so ago.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, can you take a roll call to approve a settlement agreement with, we'll call it MGT.
All right, roll call number 1 for consensus. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill? Yes. Trustee Love?
Yes.
You have your consensus.
Thank you very much. First on your agenda this evening, we had the approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 15 and a half, Personnel, Article 2, Employee Requirements and Benefits, Section 15 and a half, 18.1, that's known as longevity pay of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. Again, this action was considered a prospective action moving forward for department heads who are not participants in the longevity pay, annual longevity pay. Next was the approval of an ordinance granting salary increases and establishing compensation for certain non-union employees and appointed officers of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. There was one adjustment that I made on here to consider And it was the only adjustment from what the board saw at our last meeting was trustee Cahill asked me if I would adjust section 16 by an additional 1%, and that is reflected in that number that you see in front of you then, too, for section 16. Did anyone, because we can call for we might want to call for a recess anyway to go to this, because section 8 has got further detail or implication to it as well, too, in case anybody wants to sit down and talk about that. We can call for a recess to close session, maybe after we get everything else taken care of here, we can do that. Did anyone wish to go to closed session to discuss section 8?
I would.
Okay. Okay. We'll ask when the time comes if everyone agreed with that then too, okay? All right, thank you. And then, moving on, number 3 was a public hearing on the proposed budget and appropriation ordinance for the Village of Alsip for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2026. Again, that particular ordinance, everyone has a copy of in front of them. This ordinance was prepared by our attorney, Gary Perlman. Gary and everyone over at the Kankar Law offices did a great job assisting my office putting this together. I was really indulged myself the last few months trying to make sure our revenues were meeting expectations, and Gary made a final adjustment this morning, and that's the copy that everyone has in front of them this evening then, too. We don't have much of an audience this evening, but was there any questions from the board on this particular ordinance? It is a balanced budget. It is a balanced, it is a balanced budget. I don't want to say ordinance. It is a balanced budget. There was a couple of things at the very end. Roger Early came to me earlier this evening on one that was identified in the, I grab my copy. Here it is. Just want to bring it to everybody's attention. And we can do an amendment at the end of the year because I believe the expense can be covered. But in environmental health on page 7, we did have an expenditure listed for a health inspector at $36,000 a year. What we did not have in there was the code enforcement person. That would be $26 an hour at 20 hours per week. So Roger asked if we could amend that $36,400 to reflect $64,000. And I believe there was enough in this particular department to cover that particular expense, and we can do that as an amendment to the budget at the end of the year. We don't have to change it on its face now. Or what would you suggest, Mike? Is that fair to say? By just adjusting this from this to that?
Yeah, well, there's, let's see, payroll, DHEO. Well, what are you going to do? What's the final number going to be?
64. Instead of 36, make it 64.
So that you're amending it, it's on his face and
Yes.
for 64, so all these numbers are going to be
Well, in other
different
words-
at the end.
In other words, I can change this number to less for the,
Well, if you can move it around interfund,
yes.
well, then you don't. Well,
long as you're not
you
getting
have to have
past
the
the fund.
appropriation, though. Yeah, you can move it around within the fund.
That's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to, trustees, I wanted to adjust it, line item 3380 in that same fund for environmental health, adjust that back to accommodate the difference of money we're talking about to accommodate the $64,000.
But you're just going to reduce it.
Yeah.
You're going to reduce one and
And add the other.
increase the other like
Right.
amount.
Right,
Yeah, that now's the time to do it if you're going to do it.
okay. All right, you can do this right here. So, just to be exact, So Roger, you're saying that would be $27,600, right? Is what you're adding to that?
That is correct.
Okay, so if we took the line item 3380, that was, its valuation right now is $1.5 million, less 27,600.
$1,609,050.
Actually, I got $1,472,000. Because I'm only adjusting to the 27 grand, Raj. 1,472,400. And that's the only change, unless somebody else had a change that they had to make it too? Okay. So it didn't change our bottom line, that number stayed the
Right,
same.
okay. What's the number under 1012 now?
Under 1012 will be $64,000?
Even?
Yes.
All right. And the appropriation will
Stay the
rise
same.
accordingly or lower?
It'll wash out the same.
We'll have to increase the appropriation because your
you're
appropriation's
right.
higher than the budget.
Right.
So we'll just do whatever formula you use.
Well, here, I'll do it right now. So the appropriation on that would be, yeah, I think it was, one second. It was 30%, so 1,472, 400 plus 30%.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah, so the appropriation, that's going to be 1,914, 120. Okay. Thanks. All right, Roger, we're all set on that, then, okay? And we had no questions from the audience, so, all right, that'll be that. And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you. Next, we have the clerk's report. Clerk Harding?
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the July 7th, 2025 board meeting minutes, approval of the June 2025 FOIA report, presentation and approval of the May 2025 motor fuel tax allotment, excuse me, in the amount of $69,295.85. Presentation and approval of the June 2025 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $70,936.73, and presentation and approval of the July 14th, 2025 committee meeting minutes. And that was all I had, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Attorney's report, we have Mike Kankar with us. Mike?
No report, sir.
Okay. Next, we have the engineer's report. Jeff Hagan. Jeff?
Thank you, Mayor. We have a recommendation to award the fiscal year 2026 crack ceiling program to SKC Construction, Inc. for the bid amount of $76,734. And then as far as the roadway maintenance program goes, we had a pre-construction meeting last Wednesday with Lindahl Brothers. They are the general contractor that has the contract for the roadway maintenance program. And they are anticipating starting work this week. They're going to start with curb and sidewalk removal. And they're going to start saw cutting Wednesday, Thursday, and start removing Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. And again, number 2 on your agendas this evening, it was supposed to be directed at economic development. So I see Trustee Love, that's yours. Okay. So thank you. Next, we have the public forum. Anybody in the audience wish to address the board? Nobody? We'll go on to our standing committee reports. Start with Finance and IT Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll have the approval of a list of payroll dated July 11th, 2025, totaling $505,937.50. Then I have the approval of a list of accounts payable dated July 21st, 2025. And that is the general fund, $1,060,376.35. Road and Bridge, $95,657.45. Storm Sewer, $14,463.97. MFT, $3,875.03. Pulaski TIF, $943.75. Water and Sewer, $912,879.67. Sanitary Sewers, $8,201.54. And Heritage 1 and 2, $106,477.75, for a grand total of $2,202,875.51. And lastly, we have an approval of an ordinance to provide for and make a budget and appropriation for general, corporate, and other special funds for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2025, and ending April 30th, 2026, for the Village of Alsip, County of Cook, State of Illinois. And that's all, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the Fire Committee report. Trustee Cahill.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have the approval to send out for bids for the purpose of providing preventative maintenance and service agreements to the HVAC systems at both fire stations. Approval to send out a request for bids for the purpose of ordering a new fire engine to replace the 2006 Seagrave pumper. The length of time for manufacturing a new pumper is between 30 and 48 months. Approval to donate engine 2023, a 2001 Seagrave, to the Garden Homes Fire Protection District. This engine was retired from active pumper service when the new engine arrived in November, but stored specialty equipment while the tower ladder was being built. Presentation and approval of the June 2025 Fire Prevention Bureau monthly report. And last, the presentation and approval of the June 2025 monthly activity report based on our National Fire Incident Reporting System data. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Do we have an approximate value of what that engine is worth?
I have no idea. Nothing used is really going anywhere nowadays. Everything's just pretty much left for scrap if they want to get rid of it, but nobody's buying used equipment anymore, especially being that old.
Thank you.
Mike, do we have, how many auctions are there a year?
There's actually one coming up, I just got notification on in October, for the Southwest Conference of Mayors. On October 4th.
Might be an opportunity to see if we can get something for it. If we decommissioned a ladder truck and got 30 grand for it.
We only got it because Louisville needed that ladder. Otherwise, it would have been worth $4,900 in scrap. That was it. It's the only reason why we got that money.
Chief, what is Garden Homes? Did they make a formal request to you for this, or?
They've been talking about it for a while when they knew we were getting a new engine several years ago.
Okay.
They have a 1991 Seagrave now as their backup engine.
Okay.
But their newest engine's a 2003 that they got on revolving loan from the state.
Okay. They typically, obviously, because they're unincorporated Cook County, do they fund that
No.
department? No.
Nope, just all the taxpayers of Garden Homes. There's 350 homes. They get their annual budget's about $85,000.
Okay.
Almost less than one of my new firefighters make.
Doesn't seem reasonable to have an unincorporated area. I get the point. You know, I mean, this is an on-call fire department yet, too, right? They don't staff.
They're totally volunteer.
Yeah.
That's actually how they get to stay as they are, because they have the volunteer fire department.
That's what I'm saying. They're doing this on their own because the
Correct.
county's not assisting.
Correct.
But let's say, just for everybody's edification, when they get a call for a fire in Garden Homes, obviously they're going to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're on call, I mean, how's their response time, or do we respond?
It varies.
to a lot of
Sometimes
those?
they'll put people in this. Sometimes people will hang out at the station. So it varies from time to time. But we do all the way with them as well as a few other departments.
That's what I'm
do.
asking.
Yeah.
Does Chicago back them up, too?
No, Chicago don't go anywhere outside the city.
Okay,
They don't like to play nice with the other kids.
right. Okay. I mean, to me, that's kind of that's really the topic, is the idea that, you know, if they're not getting funding from the county, it does put them on a small island and stuff yet, too. Okay. All right. Well, again, we don't get that information every day, that's why I got to ask.
No problem.
Chief, you took a crew down to Minnesota last week. What's the status on the fire truck?
So hopefully it's going to start heading down to St. Louis by the end of this week. They had a few things they had to do to it. Once it gets down there, it'll be down there probably for about 3 weeks to a month. They have all the shelving put in, the graphics put on, and then 2 of the seats removed in the back to put another cabinet in there. So they got to fabricate some of that.
Okay.
And then we'll have it hopefully by the end of, between the middle and the end of August is what our hope is. So turned out really nice. We ran the ladder up and down all over the place. Took it for a drive. So far so good. So.
Okay. Thank you. Trustee Cahill, is that it?
Yes, that is all I had.
Next, we have the fire and traffic safety report, Trustee Dalzell. I'm sorry, police and traffic safety, Trustee Dalzell.
Number one, I'd like to table, which is item O on our agenda. It's a submittal of the police department staff study, request for personnel to be authorized at 44 permanently. The police chief had distributed just last week staffing study. I thought that it was done very, very professionally. Appreciated the work that was done in it, but I'd like to have the board have some time to digest it and make a informed decision. So that'll be item O. I'd like to request to table that. And then presentation and approval of the Police Department June 2025 monthly activity report. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll table that, Madam Clerk, to the next committee or board meeting anyway, a couple of weeks,
Okay.
August 4th. Is that what you want to do, Trustee?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Next, the Public Work and Boat Launch Report, Trustee Cahill.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have the approval to renew an agreement with Christmas Decor System to furnish and install a 30-foot Christmas tree at the village-owned Veterans Plaza for the Christmas holiday occurring 2025, 2026, and 2027 at a cost of $4,335 per year. Next, the approval of the Public Works Department June 2025 monthly activity report. And last, the approval to purchase a new 2026 Freightliner 108SD dump truck with snowplow and salt spreader. The new truck will replace a 2004 Sterling Actera that has reached its service expectancy. The new Freightliner would not be delivered and paid until fiscal year 2027, and that is all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Trustees, I did last week, and Mike Frater, I did reach out last week. Out of the blue, somebody sent me a similar request, like some company that does, Christmas all kinds of decorations, and they're like, I'm like, certainly, you want to quote us on something? I'd love to compare it. They didn't get back to me, so I did reach out to try and get some comparable numbers. Have you shopped this at all to know that this is a fair number?
So I've only worked with one vendor. I believe your sister, she's reached out to a few companies previously, gotten some numbers, so I'll work with her. And I know Trustee Plata has also reached out, so we can look at some different vendors.
Yeah, I'm going to say it was like Wednesday last week. Somebody sent me something, and I saw it first thing in the morning when I sat down. I'm like, yeah, give me a number on a 30-foot tree and even some street decorations, but they didn't get back to me, so, all right.
Mayor, can we get a number to put into that for what the cost of the Freightliner is going to be?
It's 200,
250?
Exact?
250, 684.
If we can get that added to item Q, please.
It was in last week's, I put it in there, but I'll add it
All right.
back on here.
Thank you.
That's a big boy, Mike. Yeah. Is that a 5-ton, 10-ton? That's a 5-ton truck, huh? Wow. Okay. Next, we had the sewer and water report. Trustee Love?
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the Sewer and Water Department June 2025 monthly activity report, and that's all I have this evening.
Very good. Andy, I saw you here. Did you have something you need to report on too? No? Okay. Next, we had the Building and Health report. Trustee Prado?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no agenda this evening, but at this time, I would like to acknowledge a retirement. On behalf of the Building Department and everyone here tonight, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Melanie Railing for her 20 years of dedicated service to the Village of Alsip. Since starting in 2005, Melanie has been a vital part of our team. Her primary focus was in licensing new businesses, joining our community, and ensuring that contractors working in Alsip met all the necessary requirements. She played a key role in building strong working relationships with the Fire Prevention Bureau, working diligently to streamline the processes between the fire department and building department. Melanie also took the lead on annual apartment inspections, bringing dedication, professionalism, and a touch of her unique spirit to every aspect of her work. Her presence brought a special energy to the office that will be truly missed. As Melanie prepares to retire on July 31st, 2025, we celebrate not just her accomplishments, but the impact she made on all of us. Melanie, we wish you nothing but the best in the next chapter of your life. You will be dearly missed. Congratulations, and thank you for your 20 years of outstanding service to the Village of Alsip. And lastly, I would like to welcome our new hire who has accepted Melanie's position, Maddie Munoz. I would like to wish her much success in her new endeavor. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy?
Nothing for this evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Special Committee reports. We'll start with Economic Development. Trustee Love?
Thank you, Mayor. The approval for the Village of Alsip to become a member of the Chicago Southland Economic Development Corporation. Annual contribution is $1,000. And next, the Village of Alsip welcomes the following new businesses: AJ Auto Mechanic Shop, Inc., Davidson AB Technologies, and M&S Auto Care, Inc. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the Village Properties Report, Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have the approval of a one-year extension of the management agreement with HRE Property Management to manage the village-owned Heritage Apartment Complex commencing September 20th, 2025 through September 20th, 2026. This is the second extension of 3 extensions allowed for in the original management agreement between the Village of Alsip and HRE Property Management, and that is all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the Ordinance and Legislation Report. Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11740 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, PIN number 2420301-0250000. Next, I have a request for approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement of the Village of Alsip with CICF I-IL 1M03 LLC with respect to the property located at 11740 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, PIN number 2420301-0250000. Next, I have a request for approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11614 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, PIN number 2420301-0210000. Next, I have a request for approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement of the Village of Alsip with CICF I-IL 1B02 LLC with respect to the property located at 11614 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, PIN number 2420301-021-0000. And finally, I have a request for approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 4100 West 127th Street, PIN number 2427401-0480000, in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Planning and zoning and licenses, Trustee Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of a list of licenses dated June 9th through July 11th, 2025. And next, I have approval of case number 202506, S like Sam, 4001 through 2 to 1 through 2, special use truck repair for the property located at 12549 South Laramie Avenue, Alsip, Illinois 60803. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a hearing on June 11th, 2025, with a vote of 7-0 in denial of. And that's all I have, sir.
I'm assuming, Attorney Kanker, I'm assuming the 1-2, that's units 1 and 2, I'm guessing, right?
Yes,
Oh, that's an I. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have an ordinance ready for that tonight.
No.
Is this, okay.
No.
So approval would be,
We'd be approving in case
all right,
we're
you
not
you
going.
vetted,
for
you
an
vetted
ordinance.
this at a committee meeting.
Actually, no one appeared,
Okay.
but it was on the committee agenda.
All right, well, you saved yourself some time then.
Okay.
Well, that's how do we vote on this thing? Because,
Well, that's
That's what I was asking.
thank you.
That you, I was confused by the wording.
Right. Because if we vote yes, we're going to okay it, even though it's been denied at that
And
level.
then I should proceed with an ordinance and you're denied. That doesn't make any sense, so.
Right, so we should,
You ought to change that to denial or some denial or approval of recommendation, because they recommended the denial. However you want to change that when we get to the consent, then we can do that.
Okay.
thank you.
Go ahead, Mike. What would you recommend for language on that? Letter Z.
I guess you could approve the recommendation of the
Denial.
Planning and Zoning Commission on case number, to deny on case number 2025-06. The rest of it is fine, as far as the address goes.
So it would be approval of the recommendation
To deny.
to deny.
Right.
Mike, could we also just remove it from the consent agenda and let it die?
Well, I think you have to have final action on it. Well, did they actually, you should have final action of
Okay,
record,
right.
just so then because they have so much time to appeal it.
Right. So I guess,
approval
Madam
of
Clerk,
recommendation
yeah.
to deny.
They actually
case
Could I
number blah, blah,
reread
blah.
that, Mayor?
approval of recommendation to deny case number such and such.
Okay.
Okay?
Would I need to reread that or no?
You could. It'd be approval of the recommendation to deny.
You can still vote yes or no.
Sorry. I have the approval of the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Committee of case number 2025-06S400I2 to I2, special use truck repair for the property located at 12549 South Laramie Avenue, Alsip, Illinois 60803. The Planning and Zoning Commission held a hearing on June 11th, 2025, with a vote of 7-0 in denial of. And that's all I have, sir.
I think the way to say it is approval.
Approval of the
Recommendation.
recommendation to deny.
Deny, right.
Right,
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm
deny.
saying, because you want to get the word deny in first, yeah.
Right.
So, okay. All right, thank you. Did anyone wish to remove anything from the consent? I'm sorry, did anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? None? Did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove letter N.
N is in Nancy?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, then can I get a
Want
motion?
to remove B?
Pardon me?
Are you going to go into closed session for B?
I apologize, you're right. We need to recess to closed session to discuss letter B under the mayor's report. This would be to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 1. Can I get a motion and a second to recess to closed session?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Love, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, roll call number 2 to recess to closed session. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Prada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to recess to closed session.
All right, trustees, can we meet across the hall for a quick meeting, and we'll come back in this room to finish our vote.
You want to recess?
Time now
8:26?
is, looks like it's 8:24. Okay, so we're back in session. Thank you for your patience. Time now is 7:36 PM. 38? Okay.
Eight. No, 8.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, 8:37, yeah. So, to finish up, we did address the salaries, and we were at the, I need a motion to establish the consent agenda. So motion.
Second.
All right, roll call number 3 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Prada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, let's see. Item A, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 15.5 Personnel, Article 2, Employee Requirements and Benefits, Section 15.5-18.1, Longevity Pay of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-2. Item B, approval of an ordinance granting salary increases and establishing compensation for certain non-union employees and appointed officers of the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-3. Item K, approval of an ordinance to provide for and make a budget and appropriation for general corporate and other special funds for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2025, and ending April 30th, 2026, for the Village of Alsip, Cook County, County of Cook, State of Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-1. That is out of order because we had to give Gary an ordinance number before we knew what was on the agenda. Item T, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11740 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-4. Item U, approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement of the Village of Alsip with CICF I-IL1M03 LLC with respect to the property located at 11740 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-5. Item V, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 11614 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-07-6. Item W, approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement of the Village of Alsip with CICF I-IL1BO2 LLC with respect to the property located at 11614 Austin Avenue, Alsip, Illinois, will now be known as ordinance 2025-07-7. And finally, item X, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 4100 West 127th Street in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, will now be known as ordinance 2025-07-8. Roll call number 4 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes, with the exception of item S. Item S is a no, please.
Okay. Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Prada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you very much. We'll go back to one item that was removed. This was letter N as in Nancy. This is the approval to donate engine 2023, a 2001 Seagrave, to the Garden Home Fire Prevention District. This engine was retired from active pumper service when our new engine arrived in November, but it stored specialty equipment while the tower ladder was being built. Before I take any questions, was there a motion and a second to approve this item the way it's written?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, was that Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So before we take a final vote on that, Trustee Murphy, you had pulled it. Did you have a question on this?
No, I just wanted a separate vote. I think that we should give an opportunity to try to sell this piece of equipment before we arbitrarily hand it off. We could always set a reserve for it, and then down the road donate it. But I think it's a taxpayer asset that should be looked at as far as getting some type of monies for.
Understood. Any other questions or comments? All right.
When the new tower ladder comes, it's going to be outside. We have no room inside for this engine, so we have no place to store it inside.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Sure. Roll call number 5 to approve item N. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin is absent. Trustee Murphy?
No.
Trustee Prada?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
I can do that with 4, right? I don't.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries to approve item N.
Okay. All right, thank you. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to discuss? Any new business? All right, then can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Time now is 8:45 PM. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your night.